Most self-taught artists don't struggle because of lack of talent or information. They struggle because they don't know how to study or where to start. Without structure, you may have jumped between tutorials, practiced inconsistently, or felt stuck. That's normal, but it doesn't have to be like that. This course teaches drawing fundamentals with a structured approach, showing you not just what to practice, but how and why. You'll learn how to study intentionally and consistently, so you'll know exactly what to do to make steady progress. I've helped hundreds of students develop strong fundamental drawing skills in my years of teaching, both at an animation school and online. In this time, I've learned what actually helps students improve and what doesn't. This course is based not only on my teaching experience, but on insights from cognitive psychology and vision science, so you'll learn what actually works. In this course, you'll learn to draw a real object convincingly. Along the way, you'll develop fundamental skills that you can use to draw anything. If you're a beginner, this might be your first real win. Your first drawing that you're proud of, and proves to you that you really can learn how to draw. If you're a more experienced artist, you can make this course more difficult by choosing a more difficult object to draw. By the end of this course, you'll have created a drawing that actually looks like the object that you observed, developed fundamental drawing skills that give you the tools to draw what you see, established effective and consistent study habits that you can apply to any subject on your art journey, and learned how representational drawing really works. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want to draw a boring object. I want to draw characters. Don't worry, I understand. You can think of drawing as a language. This course teaches you the basics of that language. This is the same language you'll use to draw anything, including characters. I'll explain this more in Lesson 2. There are lots of ways to learn to draw, but at the core, all artists learn the same way, through repetition. Every successful art program, no matter the approach, requires students draw again and again until they get good at it. There's no shortcut around this, but a good course or teacher can make this process as effective as possible. We learn to draw through repetition in 4 stages. First, we have a goal or idea that we want to achieve in our drawing, and a loose plan for how to achieve it. Then, we put our plan into action and physically create the drawing. Next, we evaluate the results of our drawing by how well they met our goals. Finally, we look for any takeaways that we can learn from our drawing. What went well, and what can we improve next time? If we apply these takeaways to our next drawing, we create a cycle. This is called the experiential learning cycle. Each time around the cycle, we make a small improvement. If we keep repeating this cycle, these improvements compound. The goal of this course is to learn to draw using the experiential learning cycle. For example, let's say I want to make a drawing of my object using lines. I'll put that plan into action and physically make the drawing. Then, I'll evaluate that drawing by how much it looks like my object. I notice that the line on the bottom looks kind of flat. My takeaway is that just because the bottom of the chess piece is flat doesn't mean I need to represent that with a straight line. I'll apply that takeaway to my next drawing and create a small improvement. This course maximizes the experiential learning cycle in 5 ways. It gives you a clear goal to focus on. It provides theory to guide you in achieving this goal. It helps you evaluate your drawings with both theory and critique. It offers exercises that use experiential learning cycles to target specific skills, and it provides structure to keep you consistently applying the experiential learning cycle. Experiential learning works best when you have a clear goal. Imagine shooting an arrow at a target. If you miss to the left, you'll know to aim more to the right next time. If you didn't have a target, you'd have no idea whether your shot was good or how to improve it. The same is true with drawing. Without a clear goal, it's difficult to assess whether your drawing was successful or how to improve it. In this course, the goal is to draw your object so it looks believable. If your drawing looks like your object, then that's a success. If it doesn't, we can use theory to try to understand why and how we can improve it. Theory can inform the goal and planning stage of drawing. It can also give you criteria for evaluating your drawing. For example, you can learn theory about proportions, why they're important, and how to measure them. You'll be better able to capture the proportions of your object in your drawing. You'll also be better at evaluating the proportions of your drawing. If something looks off, you'll have a better idea of why and how to fix it. I cover some theory in each lesson. I cover a lot more theory in my book, Imaginative Drawing. It's not required for the course, but it can help, and you can download a copy for free at imaginativedrawing.com. You can evaluate your work by comparing your drawing to your object. You can also write and reflect on how it went, what went well, and what could you do better next time. You'll also benefit from getting critique from other artists. You can post your drawing to the course Discord server to ask for critique. You can also get personalized one-on-one feedback from me by signing up for a mentorship at imaginativedrawing.com/mentorship. The first lesson is free, so why not? Just like musicians practice scales and athletes drill technique, An artist can sharpen their fundamental drawing skills with targeted exercises. These are especially useful for targeting the weak skills you may notice when evaluating your work. For example, if you find your shading is messy and inconsistent, you can target this weak skill by practicing value scales. The next time you use the skill in your drawing, you'll see the improvement. A good exercise takes you through a full learning cycle. It gives you a clear goal, a plan to achieve the goal, and a method for evaluating how well you met the goal. You can take what you learned as feedback and apply it to your next attempt. For example, the cross-contour exercise challenges you to draw the forms of your subject by wrapping lines around its surfaces. You'll know exactly what you need to do when you're drawing. You can evaluate your drawing based on how well you described the forms. If your forms are unclear, you can use theory to try to figure out why, and what you can do to improve it next time. These skills will carry over to your next drawing, whether from life or imagination. Each lesson includes exercises to put the theory into practice. One of the most important things that art schools provide is structure that keeps students actively engaged in experiential learning. Teachers set clear expectations and a schedule for when those expectations are to be met. Classmates and teachers apply social pressure that keeps students accountable. In this course, I've tried to create this structure as much as I can by giving you clear expectations to draw your object and a community to keep you accountable in the course Discord group, but your schedule is up to you. For your schedule, set a goal in terms of number of hours spent engaged in experiential learning. Setting a goal in terms of drawings finished creates a perverse incentive to draw more quickly, and the quality can suffer. When you set a clear and specific goal, you're more likely to follow through. When you set a goal and don't follow through, you create cognitive dissonance. The more dissonance you can create, the more likely you are to follow through. For example, if you say, "I'm going to work on this later," and then you don't follow through, you haven't created much dissonance because you can always rationalize that later hasn't come. If instead, you set a goal to work from 6 to 7:30 on Tuesday night, and then you don't follow through, you've created more dissonance because you know you've let yourself down. If you tell somebody else you're going to work from 6 to 7:30 on Tuesday night and don't follow through, you've created even more dissonance because now you're letting somebody else down as well. I encourage you to get extra accountability by posting your study schedule in the course Discord channel. This will provide time-stamped evidence of your commitment and make you more likely to follow through. The assignments for this course are designed to be done in 90-minute study sessions. In my experience, 90 minutes is the optimal time to study because it gives you enough time to get into the flow, but it's not so long that you start getting tired and losing focus. But you can make them longer or shorter if you need to. Each 90-minute study session starts with 30 minutes of doing the exercises from that lesson's assignment. Spend the next 50 to 55 minutes drawing your object. The last 5 to 10 minutes are for writing and reflecting on how it went. What went well, and what do you think you could do better next time? If you do several study sessions a week, feel free to change up your subject to keep things interesting. Just make sure you draw your object at least once per week. How many study sessions you do per week is up to you. Ideally, I'd recommend a 15-hour per week study schedule, with 2 90-minute sessions a day, 5 days a week. But I know this level of commitment's not possible for everyone, so feel free to scale it down to fit into your life. Even one study session per week is enough to make progress over time. The lessons are intended to be done 1 per week, but you can go faster or slower if you need to. If you miss a session or life gets in the way, be kind to yourself. Pick up where you left off or modify your schedule if you need to, instead of getting discouraged or giving up. This course is designed to be flexible, so you can use whatever medium you prefer. If you can hold it in your hand and it makes marks, you can do the course with it. I'll show you the materials that I used when making the course in case you want to try them out for yourself. Many of the demos are done digitally because it's the easiest way to show my process. I draw in a Wacom Cintiq, and I'm drawing in Clip Studio Paint with standard brushes. Some of the drawings in this course are done in ballpoint pen. It's an old favorite of mine, and it proves you don't need fancy expensive art supplies to draw well. Just regular office supplies can get the job done. Some of the other drawings are done in Conte. Conte comes in both pencil and stick form. I prefer the pencil, but they're not that different. Conte lays in value quickly without being messy. One final note for this lesson. Keep making art for fun in addition to your studies. Keep making the art that made you want to learn to draw to begin with. Not only will this keep you motivated, but it will actually help with your studies. When you draw for fun, you'll naturally run into the limits of your skill. This can show you what to focus on in your studies. You'll also see how the skills you're learning in your studies are applicable to your personal work. In my experience, you need both personal work and study to improve effectively. If you just do exercises, art can feel like a chore. A balance of both will keep you motivated and keep the process enjoyable. Choose an object to draw from around your home. This will be your object to draw for the rest of the course. If you're a beginner, choose something simple, like the chess piece in my example. If you're more advanced, you can choose something more complicated, like a figurine or a bust. Do not draw from photos. Only draw from life. I'll explain why in Lesson 2. Draw your object to the best of your ability. If you finish your drawing before the time of the session is up, draw it again with the remaining time. If you don't finish your drawing within the session, you can pick up where you left off in the next session, or take extra time if you'd like. After you're done drawing, spend 5 to 10 minutes writing and reflecting on how it went. What went well, and what do you think you can improve next time? If you'd like extra accountability, post your study plan in the accountability channel of the course Discord. Post your drawing and a photo of your object in the entries channel. This will establish your baseline. This is the drawing that you'll compare your future drawings to see how much you've improved. If you want feedback, post your drawing and a photo of your object in the course critique channel. If you have any questions, you can ask those in the course help channel. Welcome to the course, and happy drawing!